Hello there students and welcome back to another video from your favorite English school, English Solutions for Business and Life. Now today we are looking at the vocabulary for Unit 2 of your Global English book. And this is all thought for you, pre-intermediate student. Let's begin. This time around we'll be talking about the objective of the class of the day is to learn about the adjectives for taste. We're talking about flavors here, flavors in food and drink. We will go over some kitchen vocabulary, some items that you can find in the kitchen, and some of them you use for eating. And we will also talk about some containers and drinks. Let's begin. Okay, so adjectives for taste. I would like you to please repeat after me. I want to say it a couple of times and explain it. So the first one is sweet. 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 Now, something sweet is some examples of sweet stuff are like cake, candy, coffee with a lot of sugar, soda, etc. Also, all these examples are type sweet, or well, that's the way they taste. Now, the next one would be bitter. 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 Now, bitter is the opposite of sweet. So examples are coffee with no sugar. What else can it be? There's some fruit that is bitter as well, or well, we can call it sour, which are very similar tastes, and so forth. Okay, so now we have the next one, which is salty. 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 Now, salty comes from the word salt. This is a condiment that we use in pretty much every time we cook, or for pretty much every meal that we have. Now, salt, something that is salty, it depends on how much salt it was applied to the meal or to the food. Yeah. The next one would be spicy or hot. Spicy or hot. Now, hot being more specific or related to chili, Mexican food, Thai food, all these types of meals that have chili in it. Spicy can also be for the condiments, not necessarily chili. Some spicy examples are, for example, I don't know, like chicken soup can have a lot of spices in it, a lot of herbs or condiments. The next one would be strong. Strong. Now, strong can be applied for many different types of taste, but normally we use it for drinks, alcoholic drinks. We can talk about a specific alcohol drink such as tequila or, I don't know, mezcal. Those are some people consider them strong, like difficult to drink because they have a very powerful taste, so to speak. And the next one would be dry. Dry. Now, dry can be applied for food or also for drinks, usually for wine. Or you have a dry taste. Or, for example, if chicken, sometimes when chicken is not too juicy, we can call it dry. Let's continue with the following examples. Number 1, my mom always cooked Mexican food, so I'm used to eating spicy. Yes, so Mexican food is famous for having a lot of condiments, a lot of chili in it, so I am accustomed to eating it and it being spicy. The next one, I don't like the bitter taste of coffee without sugar. Now, I remember I mentioned before that coffee with no sugar has a bitter taste, the opposite of sweet, because it doesn't have sugar, of course. Now, the next example, it was impossible to eat that soup. It was way too salty. So, during the cooking process, this soup, the person who cooked it put a lot of salt in it. so it was not possible to eat it because the taste was too strong, let's say too strong in salt. Let's move on. Now we have some kitchen vocabulary. um, I'm just gonna explain these. I'm pretty sure you know about these, but just double checking with you guys. So the first one is fork, fork, fork. A fork. I'm gonna try to draw one here. It's just a fork. Oh my God, drawing skills are pretty bad. So that would be pretty much a fork. I hope that you understand the poor quality of this drawing. This would be, the next one would be spoon, spoon, and the spoon is pretty much something like this. Yes. Oh my. Well, I'm an English teacher. I'm not an artist, as you can see. Well, that would be a spoon. The one you use to eat, put your food in your mouth. The next one is knife, knife. Don't forget that this is a silent K, so we only say at the end, knife. And well, a knife, it's like something like this, more or less. Oh gosh. Let me see if we can make it a little not so bad. Well, you use it to cut stuff. The next one, it's a pan, pan. And don't get this wrong. This is not the word in Spanish like the bread. No, this is pan is that tool you use to cook your stuff. So let's say we have the. I think it's gonna be easier if I draw an egg. Let's say. Okay, so here you go. So there's an egg in that pan. So this is the pan, frying pan. The next one would be plate, plate, and plate is nothing but that tool that you used to eat your food at. Yeah, plate. Oh my God. Well, I think you understood plate really easily. And the next one is bowl, bowl. Yeah, we know this. This is a word that we adopted in Spanish really recently. It's like a container that has deeper content or form, where you can put salad, or you can put cereal, etc., etc. Let's move on to the next one, guys. Now, containers and drinks. Now, I wrote 4 containers and some examples of drinks. Of course, you can put any drink on any of these containers. It does, but I'm talking about the normal way they are displayed or sold to you. The first one is glass, glass, cup, cup, can, can, and bottle, bottle. And we have some examples of drinks such as wine, water, soft drink. Don't get this wrong, soft drink is a soda. Yeah. Beer, milk, tea, and coffee. One of the most common drinks we have or consume in our everyday basis. Okay, so now for glass, the container glass, which is something like this. This is pretty much the material, a glass. We can use water, glass of wine, or glass of milk. For example, I'll just have a glass of milk, please. This is something that you say at a restaurant. And now for bottle, we have bottle of milk, bottle of water, bottle of soda, or bottle of wine. However, the bottle has many different forms. It can be plastic, or it can be glass made. Yes, don't forget that glass is not the container this time around, it's the material. And bottle, we also refer to this, the carton, where you have milk in it. Milk. Yeah. All right. So these are like I mentioned before. This is only examples. However, we can put any liquid on, or any drink on any container. That doesn't really matter. Now we have cup. We can cup of tea, cup of coffee, or cup of hot chocolate. And as giving you a hint there, well, cup is normally used for hot beverages. Beverages. And don't forget that the word beverage stands for drink. Yes, however, beverage sounds and is a little more formal than just drink. Okay, we have some examples here. Number 1, I normally have 2 cups of coffee before 11 every day. Yes, so here we have the container, and if you remember in the previous video, we mentioned uncountable nouns, so coffee is uncountable, so we need a container to count it, 2 cups of coffee. The next one, she always gets dizzy after 2 cans of beer. Forgot can, but well, can be also be put in different presentations. So cans of beer, or you can say 2 beers. Can say 2 beers or 2 cans of beer. And this one would be the correct way to say it, but people can also say 2 beers. And this is normal, this is the way people speak, so if that is the way people speak, you should also use it, or no, it's correct also. Let's continue. Alright, before we go back and recap about all we talked about, remember, all liquids are uncountable nouns. They almost always require a container to be counted. Yeah, say milk, coffee, water, etc., etc. Why? Because they don't have a form by themselves, so that's why they need a container to be counted. A glass of milk, a bottle of milk, cup of coffee, a jar of coffee, a bottle of water, a glass of water, cup of water. We can say that if it's hot water, etc., etc. And well, let's recap a little bit. We talked about Unit 2. For you, pre-intermediate student, we're doing our global English book, and this is your virtual class for vocabulary. And we talked about adjectives for taste, kitchen vocabulary, and some containers and drinks. Now, adjectives for taste, we have sweet, bitter or sour, salty, spicy or hot, strong and dry. However, there are more. You can ask your teacher in class whenever you need or have to. We went over some examples here. We talked about fork, spoon, knife, pan, plate, and bowl. I hope that these drawings didn't affect your understanding, because they are not perfect. They're not perfect at all. Now we have containers and drinks. We have glass, cup, bottle, and can. And we have some example of drinks such as wine, water, soft drink, which don't forget, it's soda, beer, milk, tea, and coffee. For glass, we normally use water, glass of water, glass of wine, glass of milk. For bottle, we have bottle of milk, bottle of water, bottle of soda, and bottle of wine. And for cup, we normally have hot beverages such as cup of tea, cup of coffee, or cup of hot chocolate. And we went over some examples. I recapped a little bit on countable or uncountable nouns. Don't forget, you can say 2 beers or 2 cans of beer, being this one the correct one, and this one the one people use. Yeah. And a tip, don't forget about that. And well, thank you very much for watching. I hope that these videos are helping you out in your understanding. I know that the speed of my voice has increased since the previous type of videos, so you can watch them as many times as you want, and this will help you out understanding English better and better every day. One more time, my name is Emmanuel Cruz. You can get in touch with me through our director from English Solutions for Business and Life. Or through email. You can request it. I will give it to you actually. You can get, I would like to use the one from the school instead. So whenever you need to ask me, you can ask the director for this information. Thank you very much, and see you on our next video. Bye-bye.